go down to Jerome's. So when Minnesota Vikings brought in general manager Kwesi adofo-mensah and head coach Kevin O'Connell in 2022, you're thinking, okay, different way about going about things. And you got Kwesi not coming from a scouting background, but coming from an R&D analytics perspective, Moneyball. And Kevin O'Connell, not the fear-driven organization, but coming from empathy and understanding. And also, he should be coach of the year. He should have been coach of the year in 2022 as well, but no big deal. But this season, the Vikings, magic carpet ride, 11-2, what it do. Slinging it, Sammy Darnold entering the MVP conversation. The Vikings looking like a whole unit, man. And it certainly is a lot of fun. And the prevailing storyline from Sunday is, of course, Kirk Cousins returned to U.S. Bank Stadium, threw 2 picks, should have been 3, but the Vikings got screwed. But also 0 touchdowns, no touchdowns in the last 4 games, been kind of an issue. But the Vikings were correct. Turn the page from Cousins to J.J. McCarthy and Sam Darnold. But here's what's interesting. So Kevin O'Connell should be coach of the year. Coach of the century is more like it. And there's one stat that proves that O'Connell is a winner and a quarterback whisperer. And put out by Steve Palazzolo. Nailed it. PFF Steve. Whatever. No, actually, Kenny Powers, Eastbound and Down. You know what's up. But career records. Kirk Cousins with Kevin O'Connell, 17-8. 680, without 65-66, 496. So that's the whole knock on Kirk Cousins, that, oh, he's a stat stuffing, large contract, 500 quarterback. But with Kevin O'Connell, more like a better than 2/3 quarterback. It's pretty good. Slinging Sammy Darnold with Kevin O'Connell, 11-2, 846, pretty good, right? Without him, 21-35, 375. So there's a couple things here. So Cousins, without him, without Kevin O'Connell, ironically, Kevin O'Connell was quarterbacks coach in Washington for a while, but with the Shanahan, with Jay Gruden in Washington, and now this year with Raheem Morris, things just aren't quite working out, and Kurt is that 500 quarterback that they talked about. And with Darnold, so started off with Bowles and company and the Jets, and then went to Adam Gase, and then eventually Matt Rule with the Panthers. What a disaster. And then last year with Shanahan, he only started 1 game at the end of the year. But overall, like, you can tell, like, you could say that there's a lot of factors here, right? You look at quality of team, you look at weapons around them, you look at opponents, you look at everything. But the number one thing here is Kevin O'Connell. And Kevin O'Connell, like, say what you will about him, and yes, we do nitpick him on a couple of things, but he is getting better and better and better, and he's a winner. He wins. His team wants to run through a wall for him. He does get the best out of his quarterbacks. He understands the quarterback's football journey, and it's pretty damn amazing. And it does go back where, hey, guess who was Kirk Cousins' quarterbacks coach in 2017, his final year in Washington, that ultimately got him the long-term deal with Minnesota, 3 years, $84 million, fully guaranteed. Because remember, Washington had done the franchise tag dance with Kurt 2 years in a row because, hey, we didn't know. The only player that Daniel Snyder didn't throw stupid money at was Kirk Cousins, which is really funny to me. But O'Connell got Cousins paid, and then the O'Connell went to the Rams. They got Matthew Stafford, year 1, 2021, to win the Super Bowl. Kind of a big deal there, and Stafford does sing the praises and plaudits of Kevin O'Connell, really helping him with that offense. And then here, 2 seasons in Minnesota before Kurt popped his Achilles. Vikings, year 1, 13-4, wanting some more, win the division. It's fantastic. It's the first division title of Kirk Cousins' career, but playoffs, maybe not so much. And then after Kurt popped his Achilles, you had I remember Jaron Hall's second drive against the Falcons. I still remember it. The first half against the Packers, maybe not so much. Maybe it wasn't smart just to roll the kid out there if you're going to pull him at halftime, but it is what it is. But then you had the Passionate, who was on this team for like 2 seconds, and then he got that win against the Falcons. He played a blazing first half against the Saints, and then the rest of it, maybe not so much, right? And then Nick Mullins out here slinging it. Don't give an F, almost throw for 400 yards in multiple games against the Lions. It's good times, man. That's what he does, and it does make you feel good for the way that he has operated with multiple quarterbacks, of what's going to happen with J.J. McCarthy in the future. Because I love slinging Sam Darnold. If he's back for another year, whether on the franchise tag, a modified 1-year deal, a long-term deal, if the Vikings deem that to be good for the future of the franchise, whatever. But J.J. McCarthy has more potential, more arm talent. works his ass off. And frankly, Kevin O'Connell and JJ McCarthy, who's only 21, like if they're together and they like mind meld for 10, 12, 15 years, makes me feel good about things. It really does, doesn't it? Or Daniel Jones. Kevin O'Connell is like a magician. For my next trick, I will turn Daniel Jones into a Super Bowl champione. Or something like that. I don't know, man. But this is a pretty stark splits when it comes to winning with Kevin O'Connell and then without. Maybe not so much. But your thoughts are thoughts. One stat that proves that Kevin O'Connell is indeed him. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section. You guys know what to do. Skol, production value.